Hello, dear Sagittarius. How are you? Welcome. I hope you are doing very, very well. Sagittarius, let's see what your energies are like right now so you can use them to your advantage. And be able to see a situation from a new point of view. This reading is general. Take what resonates with you. If not, disregard the message. And it applies to all those who have their Sun, Ascendant, Moon, or Venus in the sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius, if you need a personal consultation with me, you can email me at the address shown on the screen, and I will send you all the information you need. You can also call the listed phone numbers, and you'll be able to reach my team of tarot readers who will be answering all your questions 24 hours a day. You are more than welcome to be part of this channel. You can become a channel member and that way get great benefits like early access to videos and horoscopes, unique badges, polls, and also the chance to participate in raffles for personal consultations. Let's channel a message for the sign of Sagittarius. Then, thank you. Sagittarius, here we have the Page of Cups, the King of Cups, and the Hierophant, and the Five of Wands. Sagittarius, sentimental matters, right? The area of love, the romantic area, the relationship. Many times it's those situations of friction, right? With the other person, sometimes situations of conflict, the clash of egos, seeing who is right? Hey, that person has done something that bothered you, or their attitude or actions. Many times it's those situations where there's resistance, where there's friction, where something gets polished. Sometimes confrontations are necessary with the other person in order to understand or realize something that wasn't seen before. To have a new vision of love, a new vision of your partnership, a new vision of the relationship. So it seems to me that there is a situation beyond whether you have already gone through it or are still there, like processing an issue with your partner, your romantic relationship, whether it's about emotional expression, if there's something about the other person that bothers you, that irritates you or makes you impatient, saying, why do they act this way? Why do they do things this way? They tell me one thing and do another, right? So what is that situation that has bothered you? That is kind of bothering you right now. It's necessary for this to happen sometimes, right? Because sometimes in conflicts, it's in conflict that you truly get to know someone. You get to know who you're with. You also discover the true meaning of love. You understand the relationship you're in and what you truly feel for the other person, as well as what the other person feels. I don't feel that this conflict situation is going to harm the relationship or anything like that. Rather, it's going to help refine it, right? To refine it so that it can move to a higher level. There's a very important issue of emotional maturity here. Those are the situations that allow a connection, right? Or a bond where there is. Yes, there's fun, there's romance, there's courtship. It transforms, matures, becomes something more serious, where there's greater commitment, where there's more support. I feel that what's happening here is that you are gaining emotional wisdom. Wisdom when it comes to managing your feelings, your emotions, showing up in a new way in your relationship. There's something here that's being learned very deeply in love. That's why this is a time of very deep lessons and very deep learning in your emotional life. Don't keep things to yourselves. If there's something that needs to be said, say it, right? Because communication is very important in a relationship. This has been happening to me. This is what I've been noticing about our connection. I need us to talk about what happened, to clear things up. I want to hear your perspective on this topic. I want you to listen to me too, so we can come to a conclusion. So I think this situation is going to lead to, first of all, let's see, being patient, right? Being patient with yourself, being patient with the other person, to also respect the other person's opinion, and for the other person to respect your opinion as well. Communicate truthfully, also be open to learning from the other person, to recognizing their truth, to communicating openly, and to maturing when it comes to the relationship, right? Maybe what is also changing are the beliefs about the relationship or the direction of the connection, but in a positive way, like with maturity and wisdom. Let's see what else we have, dear Sagittarius. General energy available to you. You have the Hanged Man. Bye. Judgment and the Four of Wands. The Five of Wands comes up again. There's kind of a conflict there. The conflict is lingering, circling around the challenge, right? Letting go of egos, right? This thing about sometimes wanting to be right. Sometimes unconsciously in a relationship, there can also be a kind of competition, right? That's why I say set ego aside and start connecting with the heart, with feelings, with that openness. You're at a point where, yes, there's a challenge here, there's a change, there's a bond that's about to transform, but in a very positive way. This is about a test, a karmic test. Pay attention if a story has repeated itself or if situations are repeating. Those deja vu situations, sometimes in the emotional realm, right, that mirror previous relationships. And you say, hey, I feel like I've already lived through this situation. Or maybe I experienced it with someone else. Is this a repeating pattern? There's a wake-up call. A wake-up call that invites you to question things, to question your way of expressing love, affection, and care, your way of moving the relationship forward, to question your feelings as well. But the energy is very strong. Sagittarius, something needs to be released and let go. Something significant will be revealed, inviting you to open your eyes and say, this pattern that has been repeating itself, which has made me react to this situation. Today, I stop for a moment. I pause. I look at myself and I say, I have the opportunity to let it go. I don't want to go through this again. I don't want the course of the relationship to repeat itself like it did with a previous relationship, you know? So if you notice that something has started to repeat itself again, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath, meditate, take a moment for yourselves, analyze, observe, and say, I think this should be left behind. There's an opportunity to let go, to make room for something new. For what? So that you can be reborn. And the bond can also be reborn. And it starts to go down a different path. Don't keep things to yourselves. There's also an issue here about expressing yourself freely, right? About expressing your truth. Yeah? I feel like it's going to be a test that will not only revive the relationship, but I also think you'll accomplish something as a couple, right? Like, well, we've been able to overcome it. We've been able to overcome this challenge. And I feel like it has brought us much closer than we were before, right? To gain more trust. I feel like there's also an invitation to open up, right? to open up completely to the other person, right? To show your true self, to say, this is what I have, this is who I am, this is this is what has happened to me, this is the way I am, and I want to trust you. I want to tell you instead of keeping it to myself, but always from a place of essence and spirit, right? It's not from a place of ego, because when the ego appears, that's when conflict arises. Let's see what else we have. Sagittarius. General energy available to you. We have the Three of Cups here. We have the Ten of Swords, and we have the Wheel of Fortune, the Five of Pentacles. Wow, this test runs deep. This test runs deep. Sagittarius, I see a lot here about a change of perspective, a change of thinking, right? We've talked about an issue that's calling for attention in relationships. In terms of relationships, um, I feel this thing about starting to connect with the other person in a deeper way, right? Starting to share other things. And it has a lot to do with a change in personality too, a change in identity. A Sagittarius that leaves things behind, maybe a habit, a way of being, or a way of thinking, or it could also be a belief or something that wasn't working in the relationship. I feel like you also have the chance to leave it behind. Don't be afraid. Go ahead, move forward. Don't be afraid to show yourself or even to be vulnerable in front of the other person, right? This is about both people deeply get to know each other in the relationship. I feel like it is. There's an invitation here to start connecting with the other person in a deeper way and to start building a new sense of trust, right? In terms of the things that are shared with the other person. Um, I feel that, you know, like, hey, I need us to start building more trust, to start getting closer, to also start becoming friends, right? To cultivate this bond, to connect from a different place, not from a place of ego or from prejudice or worrying about what you'll think if I say this or not, but from a different place, from a much more emotional place. So I think you're at a moment where certain situations, they're testing your way of relating to the other person, right? Of asking for help if you really need it, right? Opening up, express what you've been keeping inside, right? Communicate what you need to the other person. The other person is not an opponent. The other person you've chosen is your partner. It's your connection. And I feel like you're meant to grow together, to support each other, right? And also to allow yourselves to get to know each other and to get to know yourselves. The change you're about to go through is a fated change, right? So it might be a bit challenging at first. This is about what needs to be left behind. Each of you will know what needs to be abandoned, whether it's a belief to say, well, I used to think the relationship had to go this way, or I had this kind of vision. And now I've realized that's not the case. It's actually something else. It's more about trust. It's more about flow. It's also about freedom. It's also about surprising the other person. So don't be afraid to let go. Don't be afraid to keep moving forward. Don't be afraid of this change. Uh, let's see what we have in the oracle. What will be your advice or message, dear Sagittarius? General energy available for the sign of Sagittarius. You have here the number 25. It tells you that you have a great ability to assimilate and interpret information both on a conscious and subconscious level. Your curiosity is infinite, and the desire to discover a variety of topics will give you immense knowledge of the world. And the affirmation it leaves you with is, I am intelligent. Dear Sagittarius, this is what we have seen for all of you. Have a beautiful day, and we'll see you here next time.